All right, we're not going to talk about love. We're going to talk about the Agent Advisory Council, which has a lot of love in it. First, I'd like each of you just to say who you are, how long you've been with EXP, and where do you live?
Hi, everybody. Suzy Truax. I've been with EXP for 2.5 years now, and I'm the chairperson of the Agent Advisory Council, and I'm also your representative on the board of directors.
And where do you live?
California, most of the time.
All right.
My name is Dwayne Hirsch. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I've been in EXP Realty. yes, Illinois represent for 1 year and 5 months.
Great, congratulations. Sarah?
My name is Sarah Lee, and I am from the Athens, Atlanta area, and I have been with EXP since October of 2016.
My name is Jeffrey Funk. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I've been with EXP for just over 2 years now. I run a team of 14 agents in Orlando called the Funk Collection.
Great. All right. All of you, we have a lot of new agents here. The Agent Advisory Council has been around almost 3 years, I think 3 years in April, if I remember. Sarah, I'm going to start with you. You were part of the original group. Can you tell us, speak to the agents that don't know anything about the Agent Advisory Council. What was kind of the original goal, and maybe how is it evolving?
Yeah, so the original goal of the Agent Advisory Council was to capture the agent voice, and it has been really an evolution. When I think we started, we had 2,500 agents, maybe not even quite. So being able to adapt to capturing the voice of 23,000, you can imagine that we've come up with different ways to do that, and you'll be seeing some more ways coming very shortly that we'll be able to talk to you about.
Great. Suzy, can you add on to that a little bit? You were there also at the beginning. One thing I kind of talk about sometimes is back when you launched originally, we didn't have workplace. The feedback was a little harder. So how have things kind of changed in the last couple of years?
I would say definitely being able to take the pulse of the agent workplace has been amazing for that, because within all the different groups, well, what did Glenn say, 2,500 groups now, even if you can just read the comments and see sort of where people's thoughts are, and then also having the chat function. And we've always had the email address aac@exprealty.com if there's something that you want to send privately to us. That's another way to reach out to us. So yeah, what I loved about it was Glenn and Jason's original vision was, here we're growing. At that point in time, April of 2017, how do we keep our finger on the pulse of what the agents want, need, and desire? And so this was a way, for as we grew, to be able to continue to capture the agent voice and bring it up to the management level.
And what we do with these nice people is we give them a special superpower I don't think any of you have. We have them sign something called an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and that allows us to share things. We are a transparent company. It's one of our core values, but they have super special X-ray transparency powers because we actually need them representing all of you when our management team, our board, our leadership team, when we have some things we're thinking about a little further out, we need to be able to sometimes just get a quick answer or opinion on something. And they're super helpful there that we can share things in those meetings that eventually the rest of you will hear about, but we're able to ask them some early questions and not have them go to jail. So that's really helpful as well. Jeff, you're one of the newer members of the group. What do you see as the role of the Agent Advisory Council today?
As the newest member of the group, it's really interesting seeing the Agent Advisory Council, how it's evolved. And we're not only getting information from you, but we are getting the information from the company. As a team leader, and as an agent with EXP, we're so fortunate to be in a company that is so agent-centric and obsessed. We are the most obsessed company in the world. And you are the customer. And we hear that from leadership, that you are the customer. And we want to know how you can serve your customer the best.
Great. And Dwayne, you're the other new member. What are your impressions so far of kind of how things are going. You know, are you guys? Do you feel like you're starting to fulfill your mission?
Yeah, absolutely. From day one, in the first meeting that we went to, that we had in the world under the new council, I learned that day that it was going to be something that was going to be very serious, something that I had to be fully engaged in and not distracted from. You know, sometimes people treat these types of seats in a kind of a passive way and just kind of, I'll be there and show up when I can. But this is something that, and for any of you that might take this on later, it's going to be something that you're going to have to be very committed to, very dug in on the issues. And the thing that I want to see and like to see from agents is just be engaged in everything that's going on, and it'll make us more effective in our jobs. Because if you have something, a voice that you want to, you know, you want to say something to us or let us know what's going on, we want you to present that information from an engaged position, from that perspective of someone that's really paying attention to what's going on. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. And I want to thank Suzy and Sarah and some of our former Agent Advisory Council members, and some that are not on stage with, there's other members as well. They worked super hard at the beginning of the year, redoing the charter for today's EXP. We have an actual charter. You can go into the work group and see it. And pretty soon, it's going to be nomination time, right, Suzy?
Yeah, look for in workplace announcements. We rolled off some members and brought on 6 new members just for stability, but by January of 2020, your Agent Advisory Council will be all brand new. We'll take on 6 new members. So I think we're going to have nominations coming out either end of November, December.
Yep.
And one of the things that was super important to us was to make sure that we got a diverse cross-section of our agent population. Not all agents from one state, not all agents from one rev share group, you know, different ethnicities, different voices to represent all of you because we are EXP.
Great. And Sarah, what makes a good member of this group? Like, how should you think about it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think that one is you need to be very vested in the culture at EXP because that's what our role really is. It's to collect the agent voice and then to protect the culture as we grow. So being very vested in that is important. And then also, as Dwayne mentioned, being able to dedicate the time because it does take time and it's just not, it's a disservice to the board and what EXP has created with the Agents Advisory Council to not be able to spend that time and energy.
Yeah, and I think one of the hardest things that, as I've kind of worked with kind of both generations of the board, is it's super easy to talk about your own ideas and concerns, but to strategically kind of speak for many agents, you know, to speak for all. If you're involved in workplace, it's helpful. If you're involved in the world, it's helpful. If you talk to a lot of agents all the time, it's helpful because as someone that works with this group, if somebody ever says, well, I have this problem, my eyes immediately glaze over because I'm like, it's not about I, it's about we, it's about us, right? So thank you guys so much for the dedication you have to the company and what you do every day. Sarah and Suzy, especially, you guys have been doing it for a long time, and we so appreciate the hours and the dedication and what you've done and so many others that have been part of the Agent Advisory Council have done. And watch for more on Workplace soon. You'll be hearing much more. Thank you, guys.